Hello everyone, welcome back to Jacqs Scraps. Thank you for joining me today. We are going to be going through the steps to create a paper bag journal, and it is using the Serene Flora digital kit, and this is by Calico Collage. I will provide a link down below of the introductory video that I created regarding this digital kit, and the reason we're using this is because I am on the design team for Calico Collage, and I'm really excited to be making this first journal alongside with you. So one of the first steps that we do when creating any journal is pretty much try to figure out what papers we're going to be using. So it was easy for me this time because I have the Serene Flora digital kit here to use, and then alongside with that, what I tried to do was look at the colors in the digital kit and then go through my stash and pull out other complementary colors that'll go along with that. So I have chosen this lovely blue color. I think it complements that very well. It pulls the lighter blues out in the background. And then I have also chosen this really nice cream color. Again, it pulls out the print in the digital kit. I found a dictionary page and it actually has the word serene on it, so I'm really excited to be using that. And then I found some of my coffee dyed paper. I have two types of graph paper. This has got graph paper on both sides. And I like to use pages that are varying lengths and widths. So that's why I selected that one. And then we have this one that is blank on one side and then has graph paper on the other side of it. And then here's two sheets of plain copy paper weight coffee dyed paper, and then we'll be using this ledger paper. And then what the base of our journal will be is one of these colored paper bags that I have, and it is 11 inches long and 5 7/8 inches in width. And when we fold it in half, it will then become a journal of 5.5 by 5 7/8. So now that we have all of our papers selected that we'll be incorporating, the next thing I do for the paper bag so that I can reinforce it, I use this DuPont Tyvek tape, and it is extremely strong. It's just practically like the envelopes. I know people use Tyvek envelopes all the time. This is so strong. And so I cut this the width of the paper bag, and then I go into the bag and put it where the crease is. So I fold the bag first to find out where the crease is. And then I take this, cut the length of the bag, and then open the bag up and then lay it down in there. Hopefully you'll be able to see that. I actually did that before I started thinking about videotaping this. So I did both sides. So both of these have the tape on each. So that will provide some stability and strength to the crease. The next thing we're going to do is cut all our pages down, and they will end up being 5 1/4 in width and 5 3/4 in lengths, because I wanted to go in about 1/4 of an inch here so that when you fold the pages, as you know, when you have several, then they start getting staggered. So you want to be able to have room for that, or you can cut them down all to be the same length. And then also I like to have just a little bit on each end when I put my paper in. Some people like to do it where you have like 1/4 of an inch on each side, but I don't like to do that. I like to use the full length of the space that we have by just leaving a little bit on each end. So that'll be the next step, cutting down the pages. Okay, once you have all the pages cut down to the size that you need, the next thing that you want to do is score them. So you can put it here on your scoreboard with the long edge at the top and go to the center and score. Or sometimes what I do is fold the page over to where it's even and then just put a little pinch right here at the top. So see, the bottom is still open. But when you pinch a little bit at the top there, then you're able to easily align it to the scoreboard and mark a score line down the center. So do that to all of your pages. Once all your pages are scored, you will go ahead and fold them and burnish. Once all your pages are folded, the next thing that you want to do is figure out the order that you would like your pages in. The way I do that is I usually like to have a decorative page and a solid or a lined paper after that. And I also look at what the decorative page is and look at the colors and try to kind of match it up that way as well. So I am going to want this to be the first page when you open the journal. And I thought it would be good to have a tea dyed or coffee dyed paper after that. The next page I'm going to incorporate is this one. And I liked how the coffee dyed mixed with the background here in this particular page. And then I thought it would be fun to put in the graph paper. To match up the green, I decided to use this one with the leaves in it so that it would match. I kind of have a strategic method doing this, and I don't know why, but I can't stop myself doing it. Some people just put pages together and they look wonderful. I'm just a little more methodical about it. But however you do it is fine. It will all look beautiful in the end. So here I've gone ahead and mapped out all the pages in the order that I would like them in. See how this coloring here matches that really well. I like the pages to kind of bounce off each other and have some balance. And here I put in the dictionary page just as some, you know, just like a pop of color, you have a pop of words. And I like that. And this looks really nice against each other here, and then the blue kind of pops out on that side. So this page is my center page, and what I have done here, instead of cutting it off so that it would be the same length as this one, what I decided to do was fold the ends up to make two pockets in the center. When I did that, I also cut probably in total about 1/4 of an inch off on each side so that it would fold up neatly and lay flat. So that will be the center of what we would call a signature, in case you aren't familiar. So this is my signature. Let's see how many pages. So it has a total of 14 pages when you count them as one. When you fold it, it becomes 28 pages, and then when you count the front and the back of each page, it becomes 56 pages in total. So that is one signature. So I decided to use this EK Tools edge punch that I picked up from Tuesday Morning for $4.99. And this is what it looks like on a single sheet, and I really liked it. Thought it was really cool. So I did every single page that way, and then I used Ranger's Archival Ink Coffee and went along the edge of each page. Look how cute that is. So I'm really kind of liking that. So once you put that into the journal cover, there's no overhang. I was going to use this as a page, and then I decided not to. I thought it would be more interesting to have this as the decoration on the inside of the journal once you opened it. So I've decided to, I laid this down and I measured out how much I would need for this. This is the part that is the bottom of the bag. So I laid out how much I would need here. So then I cut this full page in half here so that this would fit on the end of the bag. And then the rest of this I laid down, and it's okay to have a gap. I actually like that. It adds some interest into the design. And I found the center and folded that up and creased it so that I would know where the center was. So this will be what it looks like on the inside of the journal. Okay, so what I've decided to do was actually take some tulle that I got from Walmart and lay it out, and then I will put the decorative paper on top. I think that will be really cute. So what I've done is I've already laid that out and I've cut the pieces. And then I will go ahead and glue this all down. I am using 1/2 inch score tape to go around the side, and then I will also use some more liquid adhesive just to ensure that there's a good contact between all the materials. So I'm using Fabri-Tac again. I think I'll put it on the paper itself. Sorry for that noise. All right. Make sure you're going in the right direction with your paper. And try and line it up the best that you can. And adhere that down. So there you go. Before we do the other side, I wanted to mention that we are going to glue down the sides of this and make it a pocket. So now we'll be able to put something in there if we like. Okay, we have our glue down, and then we will adhere our tulle onto this side. So line that up, make sure you have everything the way you want it. The tulle itself is 6 inches wide, and of course our bag is only 5 7/8. So I am just trying to line it up to be within the 6 inches so that there is a little bit of an overhang. And next we will adhere this piece. So the trick here is to make sure that you line up the crease that you already have in the paper with the crease in the bag. Yep. And then go ahead and burnish that really good so that it sticks. My favorite tape adhesive is the score tape. It bonds really well, and I usually use that on all covers. So there we have it, the inside of the journal cover. Before we do the outside covers of the journal, I thought we would go ahead and work on the inside pages. So to maximize our time together, I already went through and kind of laid out about half of the journal so that we could walk through that together. So one of the first things that I did when I was creating this was to lay out all the ephemera pieces that came with the kit. Here is an example of the ephemera pieces. So these were already pre-cut. I had them laid out on my table, and I picked this envelope up first, and I ended up putting it together and then using this as an insert. So I kind of started there. And as I put it together, just folded in the corners of it, I added a little lace ribbon to the top of it. And I thought that would look really cute, adhered right here. So that's kind of how I started decorating. There's no, method to how you decorate a journal. It's just really how you like to approach things. So I come to pages and I just start thinking about them and what I would like to do to decorate it. So when I put this here, I noticed that this was a blank page, and I thought, oh, wouldn't it be nice to have some blue over here to complement the blue here? And then I liked the bird. So what I decided to do was use one of the stamp sets here that I have from Hampton Arts, and I used this bird here, along with some archival ink cobalt, and I did a little stamping right there. So let's go ahead and adhere this. I'm using art glitter glue. I'm just going to put it here on the center of the page, I think. Sometimes it's fun to journal around things. Don't forget to burnish when you add items to your pages. So to me, right now, these first two pages are done. Now for the next page, again, I kind of just looked at what was going on over here, and I looked at the ephemera I had and decided that I would use this particular journaling card on this side. And what I'm doing is adding some washi tape to the side of it. I picked this up at Michael's. I'm going to adhere that to the side. Now that that's adhered, I thought I would go ahead and add this word radiant to the side, and then I'm going to make it a little tuck spot and add this little tag here, because remember, this is on the other side. So it pulls out the coloring over here, the little like creamsicle color there, as well as the lighter blues. So since we're going to make this a tuck spot, we were only going to put adhesive on one edge. Center that where you would like it. And then we'll put our little tag right there. 2 pages done. On the next page, what I decided to do was some more stamping. I have this cute little set from Prima, and I use this corner stamp, and it has some leaves and floral in it. I think I got this at Pat Catan's. It's so old, but look how much, $1.19 for Prima stamps. That was a good deal. So I used some gathered twigs, distress ink from Tim Holtz, and I did some stamping there. If you remember, if you saw my upcycle parts shop haul, you know I got these embellishments that we decided were from Michaels based on the packaging. And so I added one of those on the back. They had foam on the back side. I added one here. And then I wanted to kind of play off of this plain card here. Pun unintended. And I remembered that I had these cute miniature playing cards that I got from Alpha Stamps. Now these are maybe 1 3/8 of an inch by 1 inch. And this would be the first time I got to use it. I was really excited about using that. So what I did was I took a little bit of ribbon, I put the card there, and then this was from the ephemera pack, this little image. And I decided that I would adhere it here and leave this as a tuck. So if you wanted to put something down in there. Now because there's fabric here, I think I'll be all right. I'll still use the art glitter glue. Because not a lot of the fabric will be glued down. We're going to angle that a little bit. And so I want to make sure it stays down. I'm going to add a little more glue here to the top. And there we have it. On this next page, I wanted to still play off of the green color, and I found this from the ephemera pack I wanted to use, and I have this ribbon that I got from Michaels, and I thought I would put that here and put this on top of it and actually make it like a high belly band that you would be able to slip a card down into it. So we're going to move this out of the way. So I'm going to use Fabri-Tac in this particular instance. Run that along the line there. And so I have more than I need, but I cut more just to make sure I had enough. So we'll cut off any excess here, hopefully without cutting the paper. Now the next thing we're going to do is add the roses. I think I'm going to do them a little bit lower. Now the best way to do this is put a piece of paper or cardboard underneath it. Now the best way to do this is to put a piece of cardboard or paper behind the ribbon. That way, if you have any glue that seeps out, it will go on the paper and not glue everything down to the page. So I'm going to say right along there. press that down, make sure it's on there. And there we go. See. And we'll let that dry. Okay. Now on this page I did some stamping, and I used another Hampton Art stamp set with the roses and floral. On this page, I know you're familiar with fabric flips, and those are usually to kind of hide secret writing. What I decided to do here was something a little bit different. I want to make the fabric flip, but I also want to make like a secret pocket. So not only are you hiding any journaling that you might have, but you will then also have a secret pocket to store things. Now, I've not seen anyone do this before. If you have, please let me know, but this was an idea that I just came up with. This fabric here is also from the Upcycle Parts Shop. I think what I'll do is remove all the pages under it. Okay. So the way I figured it out was that it would fit like this. So we will actually put the fabric down first, and then we will layer the page over top. Now you see I've already stamped. I used a, I think about a 1-inch circle or 1.5-inch circle punch, and put it halfway on the page and did a cutout there so that you could get in there easily. So for the fabric, we're just going to go ahead and add Fabri-Tac to that. And then we're going to take this piece, add some adhesive to the sides. And when you make pockets, it's usually best to use liquid adhesive, because then the paper that you insert into the pocket won't stick to it. Sometimes when you use the sticky tape adhesive, the papers that you put in actually get stuck into the tape, and so it's typically better to use wet adhesive for pockets. So we'll center that up. And there we go. It's our fabric flip hidden pocket. Very cute. I'm loving that already. Great. Now for this page here, I decided to use some trim that I got from Michael's. It's Recollections. It was in the clearance section, and I don't know why, I just feel compelled to put this here. And then on this page, I really loved this particular ephemera piece in the kit, and I thought that would go absolutely fabulous right there. So that's how this page will look when I get done gluing it. So here it is all glued, and you'll be able to use that as a tuck spot. I'm going to move this part aside so that it can dry. On the opposite side of this page, because there's a bird here, I thought I would add another one here. It kind of looks like he's looking at him. So, I don't know, I just like the little bird there along with the numbers. I will leave it open so that you could tuck something in there if you wanted to. So this whole side is open. Wondering if I should close it. Nah, I'm good with that. Okay. Now on this page, I did a little stamping here as well. I used another Hampton Art stamp set. These were all purchased from Tuesday Morning. I used this word fly, as well as this lovely design here, right there. This little mason jar was also in the ephemera pack, and I'm going to be making that a pocket here. So we'll just put some down at the bottom and then along the side. Now in my stash, I found this great little envelope that I got from AliExpress, and I thought I would go ahead and include that here. Like, how cute is that? Coming back to this page that I added the trim to, I did want to say that I also did some stamping on that page. I used the script in the Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous stamp set, and I used the antique linen distress ink. So it's very light, but you can see the print here and then up through here. I did that on several pages throughout the journal. I really like when it's kind of tone on tone. It's just is a really unique look. So on this page, I decided to add a ephemera piece from the kit, and it is going to be this little well here. So I also then cut out two little birds, and I used the digital kit cut-off pieces that I had to create these. I thought this one turned out really cute. Ignore my fingers, they have glue on them. And I thought we would just stick them on the page, something like that. So I'll glue these down. As I'm creating the pages, I'm trying to make sure I leave enough room for writing, because I really believe that's what journals should be used for, memory keeping. So on the next page of part of the dictionary page, this is the one that has the word serene in it. And in the kit, she has the word serene as well. And I'm going to layer that over some of the tulle that we used on the cover and put it right above where the word is in the dictionary. That way it will draw your eye when you start looking at the page to the first word. I was going to put it down here underneath the second definition, but I don't know, for some reason I think it makes more sense here, drawing your eye to the first word rather than the first word on the page. So I will glue that up, and that's all I'm going to do on that particular page. Okay, so that's all adhered, and on the next page I did some more of the script stamping on both sides, and I decided to make a top pocket, or a little tuck spot I should say, and then I decided to use one of the butterflies in the kit and put it over here. So I will just glue those down. On this next page, I decided to use this little tag, create a fold over so that you had some more like secretive journaling, and that would become a pocket. And then I'm going to add a little button there for decoration. Now because this is so small, I wanted to make sure my tag fit in there. Perfect. And wiggle room. Now with the button, I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac because I think it will grab onto it quicker than the art glitter glue. Just add a little bit there. And there's our button. So now you'll know to flip. So cute. I got these buttons from the Dollar Tree. I decided not to do anything on this side so far, and when you flip this page over, I did some stamping here of a butterfly that was in the Prima stamp set. Again, leaving this blank. And then that brings us to the center of the journal. Now in here, I think what I'm going to do is just add some journaling cards, maybe do some stamping or something in the back, or some lace or trim right here. And in fact, let's check this out. It's kind of cute. I think I'll try to figure out what I'm going to do there. And so I have taken you through half of the journal decorating, showing you kind of just the thought process that I go through. I think for the rest of the journal, I will go ahead and make that and share the final journal with you in the flip through. But I will come back and show you how to sew this into the cover as well as decorating the cover. So now that the entire journal is decorated, what I'm going to do is bind it. So I have taken some clips that I have. I picked these up at Tuesday morning. They're for knitting and crochet. They're jumbo wonder clips. I really like them. They're very strong. And I have taken my Tim Holtz ruler. I put 0 in the center here and mapped out 3 holes. So we're doing a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So I've got that marked out where I would not want it, and then I also did the same on the cover. When I was doing the cover, I measured between the decorative paper, not the actual cover itself, so that it would line up with the journal pages that I'm going to be putting in there. Next, we'll be taking our awl and punching holes, going straight in. Holding your pages in place so that they don't slip. Some people use like phone books and other things so that when they're pushing the holes in it, they can just push down into an old phone book. That works as well. Now what I'm going to do, that I have the holes, I want to make sure that they actually line up with the marks that I have already made. So if you see here on the cover, I have a mark here, here, and here. So I want to make sure that that lines up with the pages. Okay, now that they lined up, we will go ahead and punch the holes in these, in the cover as well. And there you'll have the holes. Now the next thing we do is actually prepare your needle and thread, and so I'm going to be using this, I believe it's crochet thread, I'm not even sure. I got this at Michael's and I just love it. I love the color of it. So I have already threaded. I am using a tapestry needle. So you always want to make sure you have like a tail and nothing is tied off. So we're going to start with our journal pages, go in through the center, go in through the center of our cover. And then we're going to come up to the top of the cover. And then we're going to connect our pages as well. Hope you can see that in there. Right here is the hole for our pages. And then you kind of work that in. I hope this is showing good because you can only do this one time. So you will leave a little bit of a tail. Some people like to put dangles on them or leave them hanging here and put a charm on them on the end, however you would like to do that. So once we come through the top here, what we're going to do now is go down through the bottom hole, first of our pages, and then second of our cover. I know this is difficult to show you, so I hope you're able to see. Now the last thing we do is we're going to bring this back into the center. Center of the cover and then center of the pages. Should be going through the same hole. And you pull your needle off. Now what I typically like to do is have one end of the thread on one side and one on the other of the center thread. It helps to make a stronger tie. So you also want to make sure that these are pulled through tightly. Sometimes pulling at an angle will really help tighten up the thread. Make sure you don't go too tight because then you'll rip it. And then you tie it off. Usually two will do it. If you want to make sure, you could do a third. Okay, so I just cut them off a little bit, and what we're going to do is now finish the cover. Okay, now we're going to finish the cover, and we're going to start by adding our ribbon or lace, whatever you have, for the closure. Now I've seen some people use adhesive tape to put the ribbon down. I'm kind of debating what to do, but I think I'm going to use Fabri-Tac. And I'm going to do a good 3 inches here. I'll show you one side and then I'll go ahead and do the other side offline so you don't have to watch it 2 times. So I'm lining it up with the center of the cutout here. Here we go. So then we have still plenty of length left to close it. And then I will go over to this side and do the same. And I'll be right back. Okay, now that those are both adhered, the next thing we're going to do is adhere our lace all over the back side so that it will look like that. And then the next thing we'll do is adhere our decorative pages. Okay, I'm kind of using a combination of Fabri-Tac as well as the score tape. Just going to line that up the best that I can. And burnish really, really good. I'm using my fingers so I can really get in there without tearing the paper. Okay, now for the next side. And there you have it. Just tie this up a little bit with plenty to spare. Okay, so the last thing that I wanted to do was add some of these wooden embellishments that I got from Butterbee Scraps. And I'm just going to use Fabri-Tac to adhere them. I thought it would add to this beautiful image, but not attract from it, detract from it. I think I had that like that. There we go. Love it. Thanks for joining me on this tutorial of my first design team project. I hope that you will join me when I do the flip through. We'll see you soon.